Ratios and proportions, and a ratio is basically a comparison of two numbers. So for example, 1/2, 1/2. When two ratios are equal, we say they are in proportion. And so we can set up proportions to solve. So let's look at an example. It says it takes 80 pounds of sodium hydroxide to neutralize 98 pounds of sulfuric acid. At this rate, how many pounds of sodium hydroxide are needed to neutralize 47 pounds of sulfuric acid? So this is what we're solving for. So it kind of helps us. All you have to do when you're setting proportion is make sure you put like things together. And there are many different ways to set this up. So I'm going to set up my proportion. And I'm going to start with the sodium hydroxide. And I'm going to say the 80 goes here. And then over here, I want to put the sodium hydroxide in the same place, so in the numerator. And looking over here, the sodium hydroxide, this is what I don't know. That's what I underlined. So that's actually my variable. Then down below here, the 80 goes with 98. So I'm going to put the 98 pounds of sulfuric acid down here. And then I'm going to, over here, put the other amount for sulfuric acid, which is 47. So you could set this up a different way. You just need to make sure that you have whatever you have here is similar to what you have here. At this point, I could multiply by the LCD to get rid of the fractions, but kind of a shortcut way of doing that is I'm just going to actually cross multiply. So I'm going to multiply these two together and this numerator and denominator together, and then you bring down that equal sign. So I'm going to have to write it over here. So I'll write it out. I would multiply 98 times x, bring down the equal sign, and then I multiply 80 times 47. And then to get x by itself, you need to divide both sides by 98. And at this point, you should be able to put this into your calculator, 80 times 47 divided by 98, and you should get 38.4, and this is pounds. Okay, let's do the same thing with example 2. This says triangles ABC and triangle DEF are similar. Similar triangles means their sides are in proportion to each other. It then says find the side of length DF. DF here is the variable I'm trying to solve for, or the side I'm trying to solve for, so that's my variable x. And I'm going to set up a proportion. I'm going to do it going from one triangle to the other, but I could do it a different way. So I'm going to say 9 goes with x, and then 3 goes with 2. And since I started with the 9, so I started with this triangle, I have to start with the 3, the same triangle. So 3 goes with 2. Then cross multiply again. So these two go together, and these two go together. And I have 3 times x equals 18. Divide by 3, and I get x equals 6 inches. Now, just to show you, I could have set this proportion up differently. I could have put the 9 over 3, so I could have started with the first triangle, equals x over 2. So since I started with this side 9, I have to start with this side x. You just have to keep things the same. Cross multiply, and you're going to see you still get 3x equals 18, and when you solve, you still get 6. So this equation doesn't have to be exactly the same as long as when you solve at the end, you get the same answer. So either way would work.